Another kill production.
What's good, YouTube? It is your boy Shabazz with Natty Baps. Welcome to week 2 review. Ladies and gentlemen. Bro, when I say any given Sunday, bro. Because no cap, bro. This was literally the worst week of my pick career. It's short. It's only 2 weeks, but it's the worst week of my pick career. I went 6-10, y'all. I went 6-10. Natural with a respectable 8-8. You know what I'm saying? Like 500. 500 and above is calm. Spreads we both did 7-9. My lock of the week, was the Bills, and that pulled through, so I got a bonus point. What was your lock? Natural? You had the Saints, right? That was your lock?
Yeah, man. We always talk about it, but
it was crazy. It was crazy. This whole week was insane. A lot of teams were up fourth quarter, and then boom went the dynamite. So
boom, bam, bop.
we gonna talk about it though. Before that, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend. Maybe take a sip of Jack and Coke first. Drink responsibly, guys. And let's get right. Create the green screen. We got a green screen now. Hold on. Still trying to figure out how this shit works. But we got a green screen now. We're no more seeing my dusty ass mirror or part of my door. Until you see my door. Oh shit. That's the best I can get. That's the best for right now. That's the best we got. All right. But Thursday night, for me, I was right. Chargers did cover the spread. They lost, though. It was close, but the Chiefs pulled out a victory. I think that the Chargers are one of the biggest threats to the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes, he didn't play his best. Kelsey didn't play his best. Dude got spine busted by Derwin James. That shit was trending like overnight as soon as it happened. Like the running game of the Chiefs is not there. They were talking about all off season how we're going to become more balanced without Hill, do a lot of dumps or whatever. But Patrick Mahomes didn't really play the best game, but they sneaked out the dub. Why? Because of the Chargers, and surprisingly, how they weren't able to run the ball with Austin Eckler. I was thoroughly surprised. I was like, what is going on here? Like, I feel like the math wasn't mathing. Austin Eckler is top 5, top 10, both catching and receiving. He should have been more involved in the offense. Mike Williams, if you needed a game for Mike Williams without Keenan Allen there, he stepped up. He truly was like, he's not here, but I'm him. So he got like a buck something, touchdown, a lot of targets, and a lot of catches. So he made it work. The only reason why they lost, in my opinion, was that pick six. That pick six by Herbert, which I guess was a good freaking breakup by the DB, but It was a miscommunication from him and Everett. Without that happening, low key, the Chargers would have won the game.
Yeah, I mean, so it's 1st and 2 at 1st and goal at the 2 yard line, right? They just big play from Everett, like a 27-yard like scamper, and he got to the 2. And he tried to call, like, he's like, yo, like, I'm exhausted, like, get me out to play. But for some reason, the Chargers trying to go no huddle and get the Chiefs off guard, which, you have a big play, try to cash in. Unfortunately, that's when that led to the pick, because I don't know why you kept feeding Everett when you had Eckler. You could just easily run the ball. And if you had their defense on their heels, run the ball, bam, touchdown. Well, that would have been great for me because I had Eckler scoring a touchdown. But it's okay. Never happened. Regardless, though, this is probably prevalent for every single game, most games, where the Chargers were up 10 with like three, like at the middle of the third quarter, and then went cold. So 2 things I want to say about this game. One, we said Patrick Mahomes had an off night, right? That's an understatement. He had 4 should have been picks, but weren't picked. Asante Samuel, that's the reason why you play DB and not receiver. Asante Samuel Jr., because your dad would have caught those. Regardless, though, should have been picks and actually picked. Patrick Mahomes should have had 4 picks, but he didn't have any picks. Justin Herbert played almost a fantastic game. And I'm gonna get to him in a second, but had a pick in that pick 6, a 7-point swing.
Yeah.
Second thing, Herbert, man, that's gonna be. He fractured ribs, man. And he still has that dog in him. He is him, bro. He is probably like my friend Corbett's like favorite player outside of like Josh Allen. Like he is amazing, bro. And the fact that he was able to got it. Like 3rd down, he tried to run it in. He couldn't even run for the 1st down. He was so hurt, and still found a way to lead his team down the field. And they almost recovered the onside kick. If they would have recovered it and ended up winning the game, like that Matt Stafford game when he like basically had his like arm like broken,
dislocated his shoulder and all that.
He was able to find a way to throw like that. It was reminiscent of that, and I was like, damn, Justin Herbert, he got that dog in him. I'm excited to see what that goes forward. Are they going to rest him for a few weeks against the Jaguars? I don't know what the schedule is coming. I know they play the Jaguars next at home. I don't know.
We don't talk about the Jaguars.
Right.
I think extra like couple days of rest. I think that will pay a lot of dividends against the Jaguars.
It forces them to be a balanced team and run the ball and actually like use your offensive line. That's another key. There are 2 of their starting like I think the center and the tackle both went out after the halftime. So it was like after that, that's when the Chiefs' pressure got home. But before then, Herbert had like all day to throw. He was making bad throws, but like in terms of like not completing the ball, but he was like bang, 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 and just DB's making great plays. But injuries are part of the game. And any given Thursday, an injury that's so important on the offensive line comes up to roost. So, good game.
Real quick about the Chiefs, though, before we move on, I feel like, sure, they're 2-0, but I feel like they should be 1-1. The Chargers had the game, but that just goes to show you when you have good coaching and you just need a couple of key plays here and there. Patrick Mahomes can get it done.
Well, you mentioned coaching, bro. Brandon Staley. Last thing we'll say, then we move on to your game. I know you got a lot to say about your game. Brandon Staley last season, he's the gunslinger in terms of going for it on 4th down from the own side of the field. So many times on that game on Thursday, I'm like, go for it, bro. Like you're on the road against the favorite Chiefs. Why not don't settle for field goals, go for touchdowns. And they punted. And I was like, what happened? Did he get bullied into being conservative? Because if he was being his old self, they would have gone for it a lot more. Maybe would have blew them out. But again, woulda, coulda, shouldas. Well, we did it. Speaking of woulda, coulda, shouldas, 35 to...
Yeah. I'm going to kick you out. All right. Yo, fuck all that bullshit, right? Yo, Baltimore Ravens, bro, we lost to the Dolphins, 42-38. Tua Tagovailoa Areola had the best game of his career. 400 yards, 6 touchdowns. 2 picks though. We're gonna talk about that. I don't care about Natural's opinion. It's my show. It's our show, but it's my show for right now. This 5 minutes here is my show. Fuck out of here. Offense, we were good. Besides running, I don't know why we can't run the ball this year. We honestly can't. Maybe it's because everyone's trying to like put us in the box, so we have to throw. But Lamar is showing week in and week out that he can make the throws. So eventually they're gonna not. And Lamar rushed for 100 yards. So to say that as a team we can't rush the ball, that's true. But Lamar can't. At this moment in time, he can't. He is trying not to, but if he has to do it, fuck it. J.K. Dobbins needs to play. J.K. Dobbins needs to come back because he is our number one running back. And without the number one running back, you kind of see what happens when you don't have that. And Rashad Bateman, good game. 100 yards. Awesome. Mark Andrews, 100 yards. Awesome. You feel me? Devin Duvernay, first play of scrimmage. That's a pick. Kick return touchdown. Set the tone early. Defense in the first 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters. Not even 3 quarters. I say 3 quarters. 3 quarters. Clamping them up. 2 picks, Marcus Williams. Shout out to the Saints. Good acquisition. But then, which normally, this is a trend of ours that we've done for the last couple of years. We keep our foot off the gas. We keep our foot off the gas and we're not aggressive. We're not running the ball well. We got to force shit to happen for us to milk the clock. That should not have been the case. The Dolphins were exhausted. We was dominating time of possession. We were dominating. We had a 4th and goal and we missed that. This was in the first half. We had a 4th and goal, we missed that. In the 4th quarter, we had a 4th and short and we missed that. We were a terrible 3rd down. 3rd down is the killer it's make a break for a lot of teams 3rd down. Because if you can convert a lot of 3rd downs, keep your offense on the field, make their defense tired, give your defense time to rest, you're going to have a really balanced team and a really balanced game. We were horrible 3rd down. We got to clean that up. You feel me? Devin Duvernay went out with a concussion. I hope he's okay for the Patriots game. Secondary all over was just low-key getting nicked up. I was like, yo, like what we this is not shades of last year. Hopefully this is not shades of last year. Hopefully this is just like minor things that can get corrected throughout the week. We'll be okay for Sunday. But our offense, I have no complaints. Besides running the ball more, becoming more balanced, that's the only thing. But we scored 24 and then we scored 38. You score 38 points and you lose, you're like, damn, like what the fuck? What else can they do? Lamar played not a perfect game, but he played one of the best games he's ever played. His best games was last year against the Colts. But he played one of the best games ever. He had 400 yards combined offense by himself. Ravens paid him, man. That's it. We played the Patriots this week. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. But, yo, defense, we had Kyle Hamilton, you my boy, Notre Dame. You had a blown coverage where you should never had kept in. Your feet were set. You should never set your feet. Tyreek Hill's the fastest man in the league, arguably. But he's like a 80% argument that he's like the fastest man in the league. Bro, you're not supposed to stay still. You're supposed to be ready, deep. I don't give a fuck. That's a rookie mistake. The second one, Tyreek Hill was just a man. He was just Tua underthrew it though. That's the thing. So I'm done all talking about the Ravens side. We gotta finish. If we have a big lead, run the ball, milk the clock, we'll be okay. Naturally, we'll talk about the Dolphins side, but in terms of the Ravens, 1-1, not bad. Dolphins are a good team. They are a good team. A lot of people have them in the playoffs. I personally, I'm looking back, I'm like, shit, they might make the playoffs. We're going to see how they play against Buffalo this week, which we'll talk about that tomorrow. But for right now, 1-1, everybody in the division lost, so we're tied for the lead in the division. It's okay. It's not time to panic. Now we lose to New England. Yo, we want to talk. There's a little panic. But Natural's back. Talk about the Dolphins side. I'm done with the Ravens side.
So, really quick, I mean, like, you said everything. I mean, you talked about all aspects of the game, but one thing, and we played football back in the day, and we've watched so much football. They always say the same thing: you cannot teach speed. That's one of the Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, like the fact that you can go from you don't need to have a running game, which your defense was fantastic. Like they didn't really run the ball at all, but when you have a rookie safety, Sharon Notre Dame, as great as he is, Kyle Hamilton, you had two corners who were also rookies, and they literally Tua was or Mike McDaniel, hey, Niners coaching tree, looking a little good right now, right? And he just said, F it, Tyreek down there somewhere, because you can't teach speed. Literally said, fuck it. And it's all the mustard you can do. Yeah, one of the throws is underthrow, but hey, Tua is accurate. He's an accurate quarterback. He's not going to beat you like this. This is the first game of his career. I didn't expect this to happen at all. And can't teach speed. Get the weapons. And Mike Gesicki showing. He showed out. Tyreek. All the weapons that they have this person. They should just be able to play backyard football and just score. That's exactly what we wanted to see first week against New England, and now we saw it this week. So can he be consistent? Can he be consistent? Can he continue it on against good teams? Because Baltimore is going to be a fantastic team. I got y'all winning the division. They let me down. But it's 1 week. Speaking of letting me down, actually,
before that, sorry. Can he be consistent? Can they play the good teams? They play Buffalo next week. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But if they can squeeze out a win against Buffalo, man, we're gonna be looking at the Dolphins very, very differently as potential AFC championship contenders. But even if they lose the game, but they keep it close and have some flashes here and there, maybe some plays happen, or maybe the refs cheat them out, whatever. If it's competitive, we're gonna look at them very differently come Monday. But that's tomorrow.
We'll come next week, yeah. But we got Browns, Jets, and talking about collapse. This is back-to-back games we're talking about with collapses. Because fucking Browns, man. I called it with the spread. I said the Jets, there's no way Jets are going to lose to Jacoby Brissett by more than 6 points. And for the last, for 57 minutes and 30 seconds, it looked like they were going to lose by 2 possessions. I'm like, oh, man. Nick Chubb, he went to the end. Everyone's killing him on Twitter and everything. I'm like, fans are like, why'd you even go down? Bro, he scored a touchdown.
2-yard line.
He wasn't going to slide at the 2. Momentum is a thing. Physics is a thing. You're not just going to suddenly stop because that's how you hurt your ACLs. You got to, score a touchdown. He scored. Cool. Your defense has a 13-point lead with a minute 30 left to go. There's no reason why you should give up a blown coverage, an onside kick, and then let Joe Flacco look like back to 2010 Joe Flacco.
Man, he was 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Right. There's no reason why Joe Flacco had to become elite. Fun fact, we don't got to spend much time on this game. It's a shame because the Browns should be 2-0. And eventually down the line, hey, Deshaun Watson comes back after 11 weeks. They come back against the Texans. If they can tread water, watch out for the Browns. But the Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, the offense is gonna put up points. But your defense, I'm a big fan of Myles Garrett. What the fuck happened? Big fan of Wu from Notre Dame. What the fuck? Where did you go? Where everyone just disappeared after? Oh, we beat the Jets. It's easy. No. Fun fact before I pass it off to you: first time since 2009, the Mets, the Yankees, the Giants, and the Jets all won on the same day.
What?
2009. So
that's fine.
If you believe in that, who also won a Super Bowl in 2009 season?
The Saints.
There we go. So, hey, do you believe in magic? But good job, Jets coming back, but Browns shit the bed.
Well, for me, I feel like it was bad. The Jets, Garrett Wilson, what a way to become him. He's definitely gonna be featured a lot more. So my fantasy owners, if you have Garrett Wilson, you might want to consider starting him. flexing him something because it's only gonna get better. Who they play week 3? We talk about it tomorrow. They play the Bengals. Yo, we're gonna talk about the Bengals now. We're gonna talk about the Bengals. But yo, Gary Wilson had a good game. Brees Hall got a touchdown. Gary Wilson had 2 touchdowns. For me, Joe Flacco, for as much shit as we give him, you feel me? Nick Wright included. Yo, son, he had a great game. He turned it on when he needed to turn it on.
Yeah. And yeah, it does have great weapons, man. Like,
And then the Browns,
yeah.
sorry. But the Browns, though, they had Amari Cooper got a touchdown. We was like, oh shit, Amari gonna have no touchdowns, whatever. He got the end zone. Nick Chubb 3 touchdowns. I thought one of those should have went to Kareem Hunt, but he was short. He was out of bounds. For me, fucked up my parlay, but it's fine. It's fine. But like, yo, 2-0 was definitely a possibility, especially because they upset Carolina week 1. They play the Steelers 2 days from now, so they could be easily be looking at 3-0. And when we talk about treading water for Deshaun Watson to come back, like, yo, honestly, could be treading water in a positive way because they're gonna lose some games, obviously. But now 1-1 is like, oof. Now say they lose to Steelers on Thursday, oof, 1-2. So like the pressure would be there. But for right now, 1-1, they had a game they should have won, but maybe the blown coverage that you mentioned earlier. Myles Garrett completely disappeared the last 2 drives of the game. He was sensational that game. But when we needed it most, and this is probably why a lot of people don't see him as a top, the top edge rusher, because he cannot finish games. That's been a common thing for years now. No shade. I'm a fan. My son is swole. Every time he has no sleeves, he gets a drug test. And I wouldn't be surprised if he got a drug test today. But like, yo, it happens. Can you move forward and play the Steelers and finish? That's the key for the Ravens, the Browns, and we're going to talk about the other team later. But for right now, Commanders at the Lions. The Lions, that was a great game. That you called it perfectly. So I gave you credit for that, sir. But yo, it was awesome. That game, like for side story, I went to Syracuse this weekend with baby girl. We driving back. I got Red Zone on my phone, and then the first half is straight Aiden Hutchinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know what I'm saying? Going crazy. Then Carson Wentz has a regular Carson Wentz moment. He comes back. Touchdown. Jahan Dodson. Touchdown. Antonio Gibson. I was like, oh, we got a game here? Both teams looking like they're going to be trash this year. We got a good game right now? But then the Lions, last year Lions would have lost that game. This year Lions is something special. They're a frisky team. And a lot of like pundits on FS1, ESPN, whatever, they say frisky a lot or fighting teams, but honestly, they're setting the foundation right now. And I believe when Jameson Williams plays, yo, look out. Because similar to what Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill have in Miami, Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown, the sun god, bro, look out. And if next year they could draft a quarterback, but let him sit a year and develop like on some Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes type of timing, yo, the Lions they're on their way. They're on their way. They low-key could be 2-0 if things went their favor, because the Eagles week 1 didn't look too impressive. They had a pick 6. So for me, Jared Goff cuts the turnovers down and ups the production, and if it's working, it's working. Keep feeding Amon-Ra, the sun god, St. Brown the ball. If that works, by all means, they can easily. And the running game is outstanding. The offensive line, Penei Sewell, dog. And the Bengals, we're gonna talk about the Bengals. Low-key might be regretting not picking him instead of Jamar Chase. Low-key. We're gonna talk about the Bengals in a little bit. But yo, the Lions, I have nothing to say about the Commanders. The Commanders protection, like they gotta protect Carson Wentz better, and they gotta run the ball a little bit better. They got 3 good receivers. Terry McLaurin, he has the yards. Curtis Samuel gets the touchdowns, and John Donaldson gets like the red zone targets. Like yo, though that's a pretty good trio. Pretty good trio, if I do say so myself. Logan Thomas got a touchdown. I was like, oh, bet. Okay, Logan Thomas. Shout out to Matt. He got him on his fantasy team. Like, oh, it's lit. Like, Commanders, okay. This game is all about the line because if they could beat the Vikings, we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. We're gonna be looking at them in a very different light. Like, hold on, wait a minute, can they make the playoffs? But that's all I gotta say, man. Talk to me, Nash. How you feel about this game?
I called it last week. I called it on Wednesday. I'm like, something about these Lions, man. I'm happy for Dan Campbell. One, I love him. And a lot of people are like, you can't win with heart. You can't win with you gotta know some X's and O's. Bro, his whole coaching staff is like black, right? Like it's him and it's just a bunch of black coaches who've been in the league for a bunch of years, and they know the game and they know how to coach. And sometimes we talked about it with blown leads because the Lions, like you just said, could have lost that game last year. They would have lost that game. They first half, fantastic. Everyone's like, oh my God, and the Lions going to win. And then somehow, some way, heartbreak sets. But this, man, you just said it too. It's like, if you can not turn the ball over, which I don't know what game we talk about next. It's not the Saints game. We'll talk about the Saints game in a second. You can't turn the ball over. Huh?
Colts and Jags.
Yeah, but talk turnovers as well. But don't turn the ball over. Rely on your running game. Make the plays when you need to your skill guys. And literally, that's what they needed to do, and that's exactly what they did. And that's how you win football games. I think Dan Campbell, man. I'm not gotta give me a day to simmer my thoughts with the Lions and Vikings pick, but hey, man. I'm not going to say playoffs, but I'm going to say, as you just said too, frisky. Any team can get got. Like any team can get got. But watch out for the Lions, man, because they're going to fight and scratch and claw and bite some kneecaps. But someone who, no segue, terrible segue, Jacksonville, back-to-back games I called. I said Jacksonville was going to win. I said the Lions were going to win. Now,
Jags back to back. You got the little dynasty going. You had the Jets, the Lions, and the Jags.
So I said Jets were going to cover. I didn't say Jets were going to win. I said Jets were going to cover.
Oh, yeah, true.
But I just said straight up money line for the Lions and straight up money line for the Jags. Yeah. Now, here's the thing with the Jags. Jags have a fantastic defense, right? They should have won week 1 against the Commanders, but it didn't because, hey, week 1, the nerves and whatever. But again, their defense is legit. Or maybe the Colts are just not that good. Like, back-to-back weeks of poor showing, and what the fuck happened to Jonathan Taylor? Like, Michael Pittman didn't play. Like, I'm like, okay, you can't get goose-egged because one receiver didn't play. Like, Matt Ryan, you were supposed to be that guy. You were a former MVP. What happened? You're supposed to have the best offensive line, or at least like guard, like Quentin Nelson, right? He's handling his business, but everyone else is getting like destroyed. Jonathan Taylor can't run the ball. He literally had like 10 carries at one point for like 14 yards. I don't know what he ended up with, but I'm like, that's not gonna cut it, and it's not gonna win in this league. And then turnovers. Matt Ryan, you turn it into Carson Wentz last year. It's something about the Colts going to Jacksonville every single year for 8 years.
Every year.
8 years. Bro, I didn't even know that was a real stat, bro. Until I was like, there's no way. And then, bro, for 8 years, including this year, the Colts, every time they go down to Jacksonville, they lose. That is insane to me. Where you can't even beat one. It's like the Patriots going to Miami.
They never win.
Patriots get some wins, but 8 years in a row, you can't be one at the same stage. It's a house of nightmares for the Colts. No matter who's the quarterback. Even when Andrew Luck was the quarterback, they still lost. So it's just insane. Like, Jags are another frisky team that they have the potential with the right direction. Not necessarily make the playoffs. They make the playoffs cool, but right now they're leading the AFC South. Someone's got to win the division. Why not them? Now again, I got the Titans winning, but Titans. We're gonna talk about them. They didn't look too great either, and the quarterback change. quarterback change. um, but I mean, go Jacksonville, man. They're another one of those frisky teams that Renell was talking about. Where like, yo, they're gonna be a tough out for a lot of teams.
That's looking right. But seriously, talking about the game though, I feel like there's no excuse except for whatever's going on in Duval County. I feel like the Trevor Lawrence really played a great game. Like everyone's talking about, the Colts, this and that, and the third, and Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor's gonna bounce back. I strongly believe that. Matt Ryan is gonna bounce back. I strongly believe that. Now they tied against the Texans, and they lost to the Jags. That is okay. They play the Chiefs. They might get smoked. So 0-2-1 is looking like a possibility. However, it's not over. There's 17 games. There are 17 games. If they can sneak out some wins down the line somewhere when they play the Texans again and not tie, not tie and win a game. Play Jacksonville at Indianapolis. They play the Titans twice, and look how they looking right now. We're gonna talk about that later. It's real shaky. Like they could bounce back. Jacksonville, though, all credit goes to Jacksonville. They had a good game plan. Christian Kirk proving why he was paid that a large sum of money. 2 tutties, 6 catches, 70-something yards. Yards go up a little bit, get a little 90 yards, 100 yards, you know what I'm saying? But the 2 tutties, they didn't settle for field goals like the last game. They didn't drop touchdowns and had to force field goals against Washington. This game, they closed out. They had touchdown. James Robinson looking like the RB1. You know what I'm saying? I ain't call it, but I ain't spoiled it either. You know what I'm saying? Travis Etienne is okay. He's okay. But James Robinson, there's something about him. In terms of like running, pure rusher, they might have to develop some shit where like Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, because Travis Etienne cannot run the ball. He cannot. Now, I don't know why. Is it because of the foot injury from last season that's still lingering now? He had a whole year of rest. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Etienne in terms of running, but he's not it. James Robinson, off an Achilles, mind you, he's him. He's a dog right now. He is looking like the clear RB1, and he's looking like why did y'all draft a running back when I'm right here? He was undrafted, mind you, which is crazy. I don't know why. Yeah. But, defense showed out. Forced a couple of interceptions on Matt Ryan. They basically locked up everything. Now, Michael Pittman, you mentioned Michael Pittman. I feel like if he had played, they probably would have still lost, but it wouldn't have been a shutout. To get shut out by somebody is crazy. Like, at least score, kick a field goal or something. But, like, to get shut out is crazy. I feel like Michael Pittman, underrated, in my opinion, and he definitely could have got them at least a field goal and or a touchdown. A lot of mistakes Matt Ryan made were because he wasn't there. So hopefully he plays this week against the Chiefs. But even so, I don't know what the line is. I'm going to look at it after the fact. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be like at least 10 points. At least 10 points, which is, it might happen. Shit. But another thing that we're not mentioning is Shaq Leonard. Yeah, he has not played week 1 nor week 2. So if there's an injury that's going on that's like everyone's like overlooking, that's something to look into, because when healthy, he's one of the best, if not the best linebacker in the game. He's definitely a course corrector. He's definitely a game changer and a game shifter. He can make a play any game, and it instantly turns the momentum into the Colts' favor. So if he's not there, he's the heart and soul of the team, honestly, on the defensive side. Yeah, they got Stephon Gilmore. He's a defensive player of the year, but he's a little older now. DeForest Buckner, same thing. Not defensive player part, but he's a little older, but he still makes plays. Darius Shaq Leonard, he is him for that defense. When he goes, everyone follows. And if he's not there, then best believe they're not going to be good. So he's not right. Obviously not right. Because a good game to come back to would be against the Jaguars, who historically on trending or on the decline, not the decline, but on the lower end of the NFL tier spectrum, whatever. So they gotta get right. I think they will bounce back. Not this week against the Chiefs. Spoiler alert: Chiefs is gonna smoke them. But yo, I don't know. Speaking of, I'm gonna leave my fault thing. I'll come back for the Bucks segment. But Saints lost to the Bucks 20-10, natural.
So yeah, I feel like Drewski with that is like, damn. Well, that did not escalate it quickly. That's for sure. Shout out Rob Burgundy. But man, that's crazy because our defense it's played its ass off. Obviously, we want to know about Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore. Like I always said, fuck Mike Evans. Put that nigga on clamps. Lattimore on bro. And regardless, though, brawl happened. Lattimore got to be smarter than that. Got ejected, and after he got ejected, everything changed. Where I'm like, okay, so Jameis. Firstly, we run the ball effectively against the Bucks. Actually, like it didn't look like that in the stat sheet, but we were actually moving the ball, running the ball wise. Jameis couldn't get anything going with the pass game. Him and Michael Thomas haven't been really like in sync. Yeah, Michael Thomas scored a touchdown, but they haven't really been offensively in click. And I don't know why. He's not looking for his number one receiver. Like there's so many plays that he's open. And I'm like, why is he not getting the ball? Why is he not getting the ball? Because he can't see it? Is he just anticipating a bad throw? But he threw a pick six, which isn't good. We lost 20-10. Pick six, that's 7 points. Well, 6 points plus an extra point. That's 13. And then right after Lattimore got hurt, penalties. So many times our defense did fantastic. And fourth down, we get a stop. Cool. They about to punt. And then something happens. And we're like, oh, the Bucks are back on the field again. And it's like, can we not turn the ball over? 3 picks from Jameis. That's no bueno. Fumble by Olave. He was trying to make a play. Kind of just like came out of his hands. It's a damn. And then Mark Ingram. That's the second week in a row. You fumbles on the ball. Get right. But obviously, we lost. I'm not really like, oh my God, like it was a winnable game. Because it was winnable. But Jameis has fractured ribs and fractured back. Kamara has fractured ribs. They didn't even play. And everyone's hurt. Everyone's dealing with something. I just wish that Kamara could come back. Like, hopefully this week off was great. Comes back for the Panthers. Shows why he's one of the best running backs in the league. And Jameis, as much as I love him as a person, as a quarterback, he still leaves a lot to be desired. Because, yes, he has moments of like, oh, my God, I can see why you are a first-round pick. I can see why you're a number 1 overall pick. And then I see bad Jameis when he throws 3 picks, So right now he's literally 3-3. He has 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Don't go for another 30 for 30, bro. Don't go for another 30 for 30. Shout out to Bucks. We'll see you guys again Sunday Night Football in like week 12, week 13 or something like that. And yeah, that's all I really got. Go Saints. Who that, baby? And we play the Panthers next week. So we're going to get right.
We're going to get right. In terms of the Bucks, though, like, real quick about the Saints. You guys really was like 3-3 in the third quarter. Winnable game. Extremely winnable game. And a lot of people would not have been surprised if it was a winnable, if you hadn't won or not. Hadn't won or not. Because your defense was actually doing a great job. Tom Brady, bro. Now I'm on the Bucks, sir. I'm on your ass, bro. Tom Brady, if you're not retiring out of the season, bro, what the fuck is good? Because, bro, the last 2 weeks, my man was irate. SAT word. My son was irate. My son was not having a good time, bro. He was in shambles, bro. Receivers dropping passes, fumbling, offensive line not blocking. Now, to be fair, their offensive line is heavily depleted. Which we'll talk about tomorrow. Why I think they're going to lose to the Packers. But they're not. I think they're gonna lose, but when they lose, I don't know because they have a great defense. They, besides the Bills, they have the second or first best defense in the league right now because they're getting pressure on the quarterbacks. And every quarterback they play, they got in pressure, they've gotten a pick, and in this game they got a pick six. So the defensive side, I can't have too much complaints. There was a lot of blown coverages, and if Jameis was better than what he displayed, if he had a good Jameis game while he was a number one overall pick, like you mentioned, natural. If they had that, then the Saints honestly would have blown them out. But when you keep a team like that in the game, and you got the GOAT and Tom Brady, he's gonna make it happen. The same thing I mentioned with Mahomes and good coaching. If you leave room, if you leave meat on the bone, on that steak, on that rib, Mahomes, Brady's gonna eat it. He Perriman, Mike Evans was gone. He found someone else. Lattimore, he said, "Fuck Mike Evans." I know, I get you. Fuck Mike Evans. That's fine, but you can't deny that the offense was looking a little bit. This is a slimmage better. A little bit better. When Mike Evans left because he saw the field more. Julio not playing mattered. Julio did not play. And I feel like if he did play, the score would have been better than what it was. And I'm sorry, not you're a Saints fan. I'm sorry. I wanted the Saints to win. I wholeheartedly believe it, but I feel like part of it was because Julio wasn't playing. And Julio is still him. And they play the Packers this week. And that's going to be a good game if he could play. Mike Evans is suspended the game. Someone needs to step up because Godwin's out. Mike Evans is suspended. Julio is injured again, which is unfortunate because he's one of my favorite players. Bucks is not looking too good right now. Leonard Fournette has not scored a touchdown. Playoff Lenny has not scored a touchdown. He has a lot of yards. The Saints defense clamped them up. You guys are great against the run. That's one of your staples. Like stopping the run early, forcing you to pass. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Bobs are. That's a fact. But yeah, we definitely should speed up a little bit. Panthers and Giants. This was a bad game. This was a horrible game. Like honestly, like we kind of not bullshitted a lot. Ravens lost, Saints lost. So we had to like a little bit. But now we're gonna speed up a little bit. Panthers and Giants. Bad game by both teams. Baker Mayfield again is not that guy. It's not that guy. Not that guy. Fuck you talking about? I'm 2-0 right now. For me, fuck Baker.
In case of someone had to win, and we both were like, why not?
Go Giants, man. Go Giants, man. Stop playing with them.
2-0, about to be 3-0.
Low key? Nah.
We'll see tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Man. Stay tuned. But I feel like, hold on, we're gonna take a zip.
Mine is actual water, unlike the degenerates I know.
Jack and Coke. Fuck you talking about? I ain't no shit in my game, man. But nah,
Giants, they handled their business. They made the plays when they needed to, and
the defense, special teams showed up. Robbie Anderson from the Rock. And real quick before we move on to the next game, my man's Rock, who I don't know if you're watching this, if you somehow stumbled upon this, I told you not to pick up Robbie Anderson. I told him because he's the guy. He's one of the guys at my deli across the street. I told him. He was like, yo, who should I pick up? I was like, yo, do not pick up Robbie Anderson. And what he do? He ain't do shit. He fumbled the rock. He barely caught passes. Bro, he ain't do nothing. He ain't do Nathan against the Giants. Giants defense, low-key underrated. Giants offense leaves a lot to be desired. That's your favorite slogan. Leaves a lot to be desired.
Leaving a lot to be desired. Pittsburgh offense. God damn. Bro. Son, I know Patriots, I know that like their defense is always gonna be solid / good. Always. Oh, not always, but you know, they were solid week 1. Hey, your defense gave up 42 against the Dolphins, and they gave up 20. So you can't say shit right now. That's 1. 2, Pittsburgh. what is Mitchie's a bitch, bro. Like I don't have any hate for Mitch Trubisky at all, but I do. I just don't like bad play calling or bad having somebody on the team for the sake of having somebody on the team for no like. Why is he starting? Why is he starting? You have fantastic weapons all across the board, and a fantastic running back. Only 14 points because what Trubisky wants to do, throw interceptions, right? Now, I'm not saying Kenny Pickett's the savior. He's not the next Big Ben. I'm not saying that. But when you have a transition year like this, yeah, you have talent across the board. Maybe, and just a thought, getting him playing time might actually help, might give him experience. Yeah, maybe you don't want to throw him to the wolves of Patriots, and then oh man, you also got the Browns defensive line coming to town, but Jadeveon Clowney's not playing. So you got a lot of you got games to work on chemistry. Maybe he's not good in practice. Maybe he's just not good. But to have Mitch Trubisky, who we know isn't good, still being your starter, I don't know. Patriots, uneventful. They won the game. But still, it's more on the Steelers than anything else.
Yeah, I agree. I could 100% agree. Steelers low-key should be 2-0. I don't know how they won week 1, but that was week 1. They had a couple picks that should have been like the DBs, one quarter pick, which was cool. Another guy was like, he's just, this is why you're a DB. This is why you're like Asante Samuel Jr., like aforementioned earlier. This is why you're a DB, because you can't catch. Easy pick in his hands, drops it. Kenny Pickett needs to start yesterday. He needs to start now because Mitch clearly is not it. I saw a TikTok and they were like Deontay Johnson and Najee Harris were answering questions about the offense. They did the politically correct answers, but you could tell that they're not invested in this guy. They know he's not the winner. And Mitch, this is complete shade. Fuck that. Fuck the Steelers. But yo, he threw 6 touchdowns in the game. He's not it. Tua threw 6 touchdowns in the game. He's still not it. I want all my black men to succeed, but he's still not it. He needs to be more consistent. If he can shut me up and be consistent, I will not talk any smack about Tagovailoa. That's a promise. I will not. Word to Mike. No. Word to Jack and Coke, man. Word to Jack and Coke. Sponsor me, y'all. Sponsor me. But yeah, Mitch is not it. He's had a couple games. We know, the offense is slow. Offense is not scoring. He's only looking for Pat Freiermuth. Deontay Johnson makes calm third down catches. Chase Claypool is non-existent. George Pickens, the menace from society, is non-existent. Has he caught a pass yet? I don't even know. He has done nothing of note. Najee Harris has, I think, 72 combined yards in both games, where he easily could have had 100 yards in both. That's insane. Steelers, get right, because although I'm a Ravens fan and fuck the Steelers, I'm still Najee Harris. I'm a fan of Freiermuth. I'm a fan of Deontay Johnson. He helped me out in fantasy last year. I'm a fan of bro, Mike Tomlin. Come on now. Mike Tomlin does not lose. He's not going to lose like that. He's going to course correct. Whether that means starting Kenny Pickett, that might have to be the case. We'll find out on Thursday when they play the Browns, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. Moving on.
Course correct. Man.
The Rams, bro, yo, son. Talk about this little sweaty little bit. It was 20-3. That's the famous number with the Falcons. 28-3.
Against Atlanta.
And what could have went wrong. Cooper Kupp, who rarely fumbles, he fumbles. The defense low-key played a pretty good game. But the fumble by Cooper Kupp got them short distance. The punt block for a touchdown. That was a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Matt Stafford, he tried to throw a rocket, and that was picked off short yardage situation. So, the Rams gave them opportunities to convert either field goals or touchdowns. The game should have been a blowout, but Cooper Kupp didn't fumble. Cool. I love how Allen Robinson was involved. I love how he was involved. They got him touches early. They got him touches often. He scored a touchdown. I was like, okay, this is good. If we can see a balance of not just him throwing the Cooper Kupp 1,000 times a game, I'm okay with that. Not a little bit because I have Allen Robinson on my fantasy teams. A couple of them, a little bit, but for the most part, I feel like they're better. Remember when Jared Goff was there, but when Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp was there together, they were dynamic. Allen Robinson at this point is better than Robert Woods. I feel like if they can put both of them in position to be successful, and Cam Akers, he ain't scored a touchdown, but he had a decent game. We thought he was just gone. We thought he was just like he's in a doghouse or something he didn't do, whatever. But he had a good game. Darrell Henderson scored a touchdown. That was cool. Defense, Dan Ramsey, he was like, I don't know why. He guarded the right man. Because I feel like if Kyle Pitts went off, that would have been way more devastating than if Drake London went off. And I don't know if you want to talk about the Falcons part. What are you talking about? I don't know.
No,
but
I was going to talk about the defense of the Rams, actually, because I'm like, this is why you pay the big bucks to Donald. Well, Wagner took a pay cut. He took a pay cut to join the Rams.
Yeah.
And Jalen Ramsey. Like, each of them made impactful plays throughout the game. And that last drive, a pick from Ramsey. Like, that's why you don't throw the ball to him. Yeah, he got cooked week 1 against Diggs, and we can talk about the Bills later. But
we'll talk about Diggs later.
Diggs and Allen looking like the best combination in football right now. So it's like, it's the best in football. It's kind of like that Riley meme in the Boondocks. It's like I can see if you lost to T.I. But Usher? It's like, I can see you losing to getting burned by Diggs when Allen's throwing him the ball. But Zacchaeus? Like that's not, that don't even sound right. So Ramsey showed why he's a big time player. Donald got a fumble recovery. Bobby Wagner finally got back in the sack. Pause. He got some sacks. They did the defense. The defense, they choked. They almost choked, but they closed it out. And I know I'm gonna skip ahead because, like, speaking of closing out, what the hell happened to the Cardinals and Raiders?
Wait, hold. Before you do that, Drake London, he is him. He is him. I'm not surprised because he's 6'5". Feel me? He 6'5", big body, 50-50 catches, and he's good after the catch. So I'm not surprised he had a big game. I'm not surprised. I'm just surprised it happened this quick. Yeah, week 1, he had a touchdown. He had he had a little something going on. Week 2, he had like a couple. I think I had 100 yards or something like that. I gotta confirm it, but he got a touchdown. He was cooking. He made splash plays all over. So Falcons bright spot, Drake London, Kyle Pitts he's basically getting double team all the time. So if you got him in your fantasy teams, it might be a long season. They play the Falcons. I said the Falcons. They play the Seahawks. So he might be able to score. Finally. You know what I'm saying? But continue. Collapse. Raiders collapse.
Raiders collapse. And remember last week, I was talking hella shit. I'm like, we don't got to go through this. The Rams are going to smoke them. Bengals going to smoke them. We'll talk about them in a second. Raiders are going to smoke them. Broncos and Niners. 3 of the 5, they ended up winning. We're going to talk about the Raiders. Raiders, they're up 20-0. 20-0 at halftime. And then Kyler Murray, I'm gonna talk the Raiders perspective. You can talk Cardinals if you want to. Raiders, what is going on? Like Derek Carr, he was supposed to be a top 10 quarterback, or at least borderline. You're not acting like it. You're not showing it right now. Devontae Adams, arguably best receiver in the game. Y'all are best friends in college. 2 catches? 2. I'm like, that's not like, I'm not saying force feed Adams because you have Waller, who showed up. He did some yardage for me in some fantasy leagues.
Got a touchdown.
Josh Jacobs handled his business, But it's one of those like you gotta get your playmakers the ball, and they were not like at all, and that's why when Kyler Murray is a speed demon, and anything can happen. Like you have people who can and your boy Hollywood Brown, T on that one. That's neither here nor there. Just Raiders collapse, and it's a shame that the game even was close.
Yeah, I completely agree. Coaching matters in this game, and seeing that the both teams deserve to lose. I ain't gonna lie. If it was a tie, I would not be mad because the first half belongs to the Raiders. They were scoring touchdowns. Devontae Adams got a touchdown. Darren Waller got a touchdown. It was cool. They got a field goal in the end of half. Then the third quarter happened, and this is why quarterbacks matter. Kyler Murray, for as much gripe as a lot of pundits and even us sometimes give him, if it matters, he can make shit happen. He can make stuff happen. So he made it happen. The first 2-point conversion took like 20 seconds. Literally, I was like, oh, weave. This is why a lot of people compare him to Russell Wilson, because Russell Wilson is the escape artist. Like when you're talking about known as an escape artist who can evade the rush and still make a pass or still make a rush, Kyle Murray, and that's the exact opposite, the exact parallel to Russell Wilson in this like early Russell Wilson. Shit, even now, but we're gonna talk about the Broncos. But the Raiders should have won this game easily. But when you let certain quarterbacks, you cannot let them hang around. And there was a lot of conservative play. Oh, yeah, we up 20 to zip. We're not going to do anything. We're going to just kick field goals. Cool. But we mentioned the Raiders' defense is basura. And to be fair, the first half, they was clamping them up. They got a pick, you know what I'm saying? They got an early pick. You feel me? The overtime happened when they called off freaking Hollywood Brown was open. He caught it, but then the DB knocked it out of his hands. I have my dumb heart just now. Goddamn. But like they hit the ball out, so that's cool. And this is why we don't need him in Baltimore, because he doesn't have hands. Period. But he ended up like Hunter Renfrow, who rarely fumbles. Fumble 6, ends the game, which is insane. Neither team deserved to win. Both teams are not making the playoffs at this moment. Maybe 0-2 is hard. I think like it never happens. 0-2 teams make the playoffs, especially in the loaded AFC West for the Raiders. No, not happening.
Yeah, AFC, man, loaded as hell.
AFC is loaded as fuck. Dolphins now emerging, Ravens emerging. Like, we've been here. Feel me?
All right.
Cardinals, I don't know. But moving on, though.
What game you want to talk about? Because there's about 5 games left.
We missed 49ers and Seahawks real quick. Trey Lance, my brother, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my brother.
Praying for him, man.
Praying for you. I hope he has successful ankle surgery. Like, once, like, I'm like, oh, what happened? I see him get carted off. I'm like, oh, what the? And then they show the replay, and I'm looking like, what happened? Like, there's no notification about the ankle or foot. And so, like, what is going on? And then I see the replay, and I'm like looking, like my eyes is like, I got the shine gun right now. I'm like, I'm really like deeply looking like to see what the hell happened, and I see it happen, and I like my gut instantly was like, damn. Like I just knew that he was out for like a season. I was like, he's done. He's done for the season. Which, looking back, right? And shout out to Speak for Yourself. Well, speak. It's not speaking for yourself anymore. Speak. I think Acho said it. If they like literally, they didn't need, because right now Trey Lance is looking like a bust, which is unfortunate. There's nothing to say about Seattle. Seattle played a horrible game. Like we knew this was going to be bad. They should be 0-2 right now, but they're not. They're 1-1. Tied for the lead in the division. All the teams in the NFC West is 1-1, which is crazy. But 49ers part. This is all about the 49ers. They didn't need to draft Trey Lance. If they had stayed packed, they could have got Michael Parsons, who would have Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Michael Parsons would have been crazy. Even trade up a little bit. Jalen Waddle, Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel, Jalen Waddle, which is crazy. So shout out to Emmanuel Ocho for pointing that out. However, defense played outstanding for the 49ers. Jimmy G, he came in. He did what Jimmy G does. He just wins games. And low-key could have been a shutout if it wasn't for a block field goal that was turned to a touchdown. So, for me, George Kittle comes back and he's healthy. I guess they're not rushing him back because groins are serious, especially for a receiving tight end like that, and especially for someone who blocks the best blocking tight end in the league, who got a lot of leg motion there. One wrong turn is over.
Yeah, groins, hamstrings, and ankles are like the three is like you don't rush back.
So I mean, they 1-1, and they could be, depending on how it goes on Sunday night against the Broncos. We'll talk about that tomorrow. It could be 2-1. So they're gonna probably not rush it back even further if they win the game. But 49ers, man, it's unfortunate for Trey Lance, but this is why I think I mentioned that, hey, you might want to try to trade Jimmy G, but I'm glad they kept him because now they have a quarterback who's proven he might be average, but he's proven that he can take him to a playoff, take him to a NFC Championship game, take him to a Super Bowl, and was like this close to winning one. So that's my take.
I mean, he got everything taken care of. Obviously, played for Trey Lance. Niners they were in the NFC Championship game last year, man. Like, same roster, damn near the same roster, and now with a quarterback that we know can actually throw the ball. We didn't know Trey Lance was an unknown. Like, Jimmy G is going to win you games against Seattle, against Jacksonville's the bad teams of the league. But can he beat the good teams? Can he put yourself in a position to beat the good teams? When your defense plays balls out like they did against Seattle, then absolutely, yes. But it's a team game, not an individual game. And that's why football's king. Speaking of team game, man, Broncos coaching staff needs to be, I don't know what, bro.
What is life?
Bro, we talked about Russell Wilson's escapability. Is Russell Wilson cooked? Is he cooked? Like, I doubt it because, again, we want black quarterbacks to be successful out here. But, like, his decision-making hasn't been fantastic, one. Two, Nathaniel Hackett might be over his head as a coach. This is the second week in a row where, again, I'm a stickler for this, bad play calling. Like, I don't care if you lose. I don't care if I don't care if you lose. I don't care if you win. What I care about is you putting the best plays out there. Set the scene, and you've probably seen this already. They don't get it on 3rd and 2. For some reason, they run the ball with the backup tight end instead of with Javonte Williams. I can live with that. I'm not happy about it because I love Javonte Williams. He's a dog. He's a guy. But whatever. You want to get cute? Fine. You play cute. You play stupid games. You win stupid prizes. It is a 53-yard field goal. They hustle. They're down 3. They're down 3 to the Texans. Now, mind you, the Texans last week looked fantastic. This past week, they did not look great. Davis Mills looks out of his head as well. Lovie Smith played to tie last week. The Texans are Texans. They are trash. But you're losing to them at home. This is supposed to be Russell Wilson's homecoming. Oh my God, you got everybody. Jerry Jeudy did get hurt, but Cortland Sutton is there. Devontae Williams is there. Melvin Gordon is there. You got Tim Patrick. You got Albert.
No, he's injured.
Oh, he is hurt. But Albert, I don't know. Ogwayman.
Yeah.
Ogwayman. Hold on, I said it right too. Hold on. It's like you have all these weapons. You have everything about you that's supposed to be great, and then you shit the bed. Like I said though, 54-yarder, 53-yarder. Delay of game, which happens so much with this Broncos team, I can't watch it because every single time they're like watching the Bears to pass. They get up after a timeout, delay of game, or after a big play, delay of game. It's like what you don't watch the play clock, bro? Like what the hell? And but again, 53 yarder. They live game, backs him up 5 yards. Last week they go for a 64 yarder in Seattle to try to win the game. This week, 59 yarder to tie the game. Now at home in Denver, you punt. That said, all I need to say, I'm not preying on Russell Wilson's downfall. I hope he has a fantastic season. They should get rid of that in their haircut yesterday. I don't think the Broncos are going to be good. I didn't think they went to the playoffs. Anyway, they're not making the playoffs with the bad coach like that. They're not making the playoffs with bad coach like that. Yes, they have an easy schedule because they're the fourth place team in the division last year. But there's I doubt they make the playoffs because of coaching mistakes like that.
I completely agree. I feel like this game does like literally the same thing with Seattle and 49ers. It has nothing to do with the Texans. Texans, we know they're bad. We knew the spreads showed that they were bad. There was plus 9.5, and they covered the spread at 9.5. That's insane. And if you cover the spread and not win, like they didn't even win, they almost won. They could have won the game. But that just goes to show you what, as you mentioned, the instability of the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson tried, but then he made mistakes, coaching mistakes, as you mentioned. Okay, you tried Cortland Sutton. Loki was a touchdown, got reviewed, wasn't a touchdown. Okay, it happens. You feel me? Your foot was on the white line. That's maybe, I don't know, maybe wear smaller cleats. I don't know. But that happens. Which was ironic because literally like a minute after Darren Waller had the same thing happen, and then like that was a touchdown. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But like Cortland Sutton is still him. He's good. Jerry Jeudy's out. It's the shoulder. So hopefully it's not too bad. Justin Simmons didn't play. Which even so he didn't play, they still held the Texans for like 9 points. So that's pretty good. Pretty good defensive effort. Offense got to match up. Your offense got to match up to the defense. And right now, Russell Wilson, as you mentioned, is he cooked? I don't know. Coaching, mishaps. Almost slapped the freaking glass. Mishaps is crazy. You mentioned Daniel Hackett over his skis, possibly. Because there's a lot of expectations. And now you're on Sunday night. Everyone's watching you tomorrow. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. Everyone's watching you against the 49ers with Jimmy G. New life bringing to the 49ers. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. It's not looking too good. They got an easy schedule. Should be 0-2, but you're not. There's reasons for that. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Moving on. Bengals, what the fuck was that? Bro, I was nervous because like, I bet. Y'all low-key should be 2-0. And leading the division, but you're not. Which I'm happy for, because fuck the Bengals. I like Jamar Chase. I like Joey Burrow. I like Joe Mixon. I like T. Higgins. I like the players you got. But just from me, Ravens fan, y'all Bengals, fuck y'all. But what the hell was that? Y'all was so happy in the offseason talking about, we revamped our offensive line. We got Joe Burrow protection. He's been sacked like 13 times, bro. In 2 weeks, he's been sacked 13 times. That's 6.5 a game, bro. 6.5. That's insane. Talk about Micah Parsons, low-key's defensive player of the year right now. Because week 1, he had 2 sacks. Week 2, he has 2 sacks. If he continue this trend, that's 17 weeks, 34 sacks. Low-key. He could get 34 sacks. And that would shatter the record, which would be crazy. But, like, bro, Micah Parsons game. This is all about the Cowboys. Because besides the offensive line issues of the Bengals, they still could have won the game. But shout out to Cooper Rush, who took all the scrutiny. Oh, he's not a starter, all of that. He was like, word, bet. CeeDee Lamb, 70-something yards. Dalton Schultz, who got injured his PCL. Hope you're okay. He has some catches. Noah Brown came out of nowhere. Pollard looking like the clear RB1. Zeke is washed. Because the Bengals defense is not good. It is not good. but you have a good offensive line. So you still got Zach Martin, so you have a good offensive line. But yet Zeke couldn't get anything done, but Pollard did. This has everything to do with the Cowboys because they won a game. They stole a game where they should have lost. They were favored by 7.5. The Bengals were favored by 7.5, by more than a touchdown, and you lose. That's coaching matters as well. The theme of today is coaching. The theme of this episode, this show is coaching. Zach Taylor, Super Bowl hangover is looking like it because 0-2. Teams that go 0-2 do not make the playoffs. Bengals, and you're in the AFC North. You're going to play the Steelers twice, Ravens twice, Browns twice. Once with Deshaun and once without Deshaun. It's looking like you're not making the playoffs, which is insane. Because we all had high expectations, like, oh, you're building the foundation, you're gonna follow up this year. But the Cowboys, they got a game, they got a win the way they shouldn't have gotten, and they're okay. We don't have to rush Dak back now. And when Dak's back, if he can get connected with CD and Dalton Schultz and Noah Brown and all that, watch out. But shout out to the Eagles. Shout out to the Eagles. Shout out to the Cowboys. Shout out to Michael Parsons, looking like the front runner defensive player of the year right now, besides Bob Miller. But that's my take.
You got me, bro. I concur. I didn't think the Bengals' offensive line would be this bad. When you spend all your money basically in free agency, like, in the draft, like, now this typically happens. Offensive lines, take time to gel and get better, especially if this makeshift like this one. But there's no reason why 13 sacks, 2 games. Now, granted, TJ Watt, week 1, Michael Parsons, week 2. The Jets don't got a pass rush as great as those
Jermaine Johnson, word.
They don't have a pass rush as great as Michael Parsons and TJ Watt. So it's one of those, like, okay, like, can they look presentable at least? Remains to be seen. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Because I really don't got much to say. You said everything. You said everything that was needed to be said. All right, 3 games ago, Packers, Bears. I felt bad for the Bears, man. I felt bad for the Bears. Thought the Bears had a chance. I really do. I didn't say they were going to win the game. I thought they were going to keep it close. And they did. They kept it close. And then Aaron Rodgers reminded them that he still owns them. And he does. Now,
you think they got robbed on the touchdown?
I do. But I also think that why are you trying to do a shotgun QB draw? So it's like, again, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Don't. If you have a big ass quarterback, Justin Fields is a big dude. Like, he's not like Josh Allen, like huge, but like he's a sizable dude. Trust your offensive line. You're at the half-yard line. Go, like QB draw, or even give the ball to Montgomery, because again, I have him in fantasy and he was running the ball. He had like 7 yards to carry. Give him the fucking ball. like I'm just disappointed in play calling, like coaching again. Now, there's nothing much you can do against Aaron Rodgers, like he's a bad man, but it's put yourself a better chance than run the ball, and not even attempt to throw the ball at all. Like, I think he only had like 20 passes, like, attempted, even after they were losing. It's like, no bad weather. No, there's no excuse. You're losing. Yeah, you don't have great receiving core. I get that. But you have Cole Kmet. You got the screen game. You got Darnell Mooney, who's supposed to be a rising star. Try to get playmakers the ball. And hopefully they don't lose to the Texans the same way, because it's going to be like, damn, is Justin Fields that guy? Is he good? Like, nah, I hope he's good. I think he's good, but remains to be seen. The Packers, they did their business, and on to Tampa Bay, I guess.
See, you take it from the Bears perspective. I take it from the Packers. I feel like, I saw I think an IG thing. Week 2, Aaron Jones is a thing, bro. Like, literally, he is him week 2. Like, for the last 4 4 seasons, bro, he's been cooking week 2. And it's weird, but like they literally did what I thought they were gonna do. They ran the ball extremely well. AJ Dillon left a lot to be desired. I thought he was gonna go off like at least a touchdown, but he didn't. Like Aaron Jones scored all the touchdowns. But the big thing for the Packers moving forward, before we move on, is the rookie receivers. They need them to show something, and they got Christian. Like I think a lot of pundits were saying that it's mad. Like, I feel like punting is a negative word. A lot of personality. A lot of personalities were saying that they need to get like jet sweeps or little touches for the rookies, and they got that done. They need more of that because they played the Bucks this week, and sheesh, that's almost like sheesh. If they can't get them involved and they can't make plays, it's looking slow. Do I have them winning? Possibly. We'll say that tomorrow. I got my supervisor coming in tomorrow, so it's gonna be lit. But Monday night was a doubleheader, man. And Bills is looking, oh my God.
Tasty.
They looking tasty.
Josh Allen for MVP pick from preseason.
It's not looking too bad. So it's not looking too bad, no? It's not looking too bad. You know what I'm saying? I've been calling it all the videos that me and Natty Bass made over the summer. We say, I was saying, preaching, Josh Allen MVP. Back-to-back weeks, 4 total touchdowns. Yo, that's not bad. Diggs is looking like he's like, I know I'm top 5, but I'm really top 1 and not. I'm really top 2 and not 2. Because, bro, 100 yards, back-to-back games, 3 touchdowns. He's completely took over the league. Because Devontae Adams had a bad game. Hill had a bad week 1, but had a good week 2. Justin Jefferson, he had a bad week 2. He's literally been the most consistent wide receiver so far. I guess Amon-Ra St. Brown too, but no one's putting him in top 5 yet.
Right.
Yet. Bills defense is looking elite. Pick 6, Matt sacks, pause. You feel me? Like they're looking elite. Will they slow down? Inevitably, because the first couple weeks historically has been run by defenses, but as the season goes on and offensive lines get continuity and quarterbacks and receivers get continuity, they kind of course correct and offenses lead the league, not the defenses. But the thing with the Bills are like, they have a great offense, even without rushing. But there was Devin Singletary who had like 16 yards, which is weird. But then they have a great defense, which right now is statistically the best defense in the league because they have the Rams to 10 and the Titans to 7. So they only allow 17 points, and they're just out here in the streets. That's crazy. So Bills against the Dolphins is looking like a nasty matchup. First place in the division on the line. It's going to be lit. We talk about that tomorrow. But I have not – the Titans – I don't know if you're going to talk about the Titans, but the Titans is in shambles right now.
I'll say this. So I've mentioned it before, but I was kind of joking. But I was serious that the Titans are going to win the division because somebody has to win the division. I didn't think Ryan Tannehill was going to be this bad. Like, it's looking bad. And Derrick Henry, like, literally, I think, like, the first or second play from scrimmage for the Titans, Taylor Lewan, the star left tackle, got hurt immediately. And I'm like, he can't stay healthy. The offensive line's in shambles, so no wonder you can't run the ball. But he just looked off as well. Like, Derrick Henry got in the end zone. That first drive, fantastic. And then after that, the Titans just shit the bed. So it's one of those, it's just like, damn, like, you can't be this bad against great teams.
You mentioned quarterback change?
I did joke around saying quarterback change with Ryan Tannehill and Malik Willis. Well, he came and he almost threw a pick. So it's like, damn, like, I mean, yeah, you come in cold, like you have no practice, no anything like that with the ones. So I wouldn't be surprised if later on in the year they said, nah, Tannehill, you're not that guy, pal. And they gave it to Malik. Similar to Pittsburgh. So good shit by the Bills, and it's one of those damn. You hate to see it, but go Buffalo, man. I mean they're actually New York State, so yeah, let's go Buffalo.
Word, no Buffalo. Word.
Last game of the year, last game of the week. Oof, also kind of a dumpster fire when you thought about it. A great matchup on paper, but damn. Primetime Kirk Cousins, aka Kirk's cousin, aka Clark Cousins. Kirk Cousins is bad in primetime. Like, I didn't think he was gonna be that bad considering the performance that he had week 1. But Mondays, man, he's not that guy. He is not that guy. It's like, dude, and Justin Jefferson got clamped up, but they're
clamped the fuck up, which is unfortunate. But see, I don't know where you take this game. There's 2 ways to take it. One, Eagles played a hell of a game, but they left their foot on the gas. They gotta finish well, which Jalen Hurts mentioned in the post game with Lisa Salters. They gotta finish well. He threw a pick and they was in the red zone, but the defense is looking nice. They had a shaky week 1
really well. They bounced back really well
because week 1 they allowed 35 points, which is bad. But week 2, Dalvin Cook they clamped Dalvin Cook up. Darius Slay, when he was guarding Justin Jefferson, clamped him up. So like it was just like, yo, like hold on, Eagles for real? I am emoji. And they have a very winnable couple next games. So I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up being like 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, maybe possible. So like while the Cowboys are out right now with Dak and they snuck a game against the Bengals, but realistically we're like, yo, like I don't know. Giants is looking underlooked, possibly underlooked. They gotta be more consistent, but the best team right now is the Eagles in that division. And
by far.
So, but the Vikings though, I feel like this is more about the Vikings. They gotta draft a quarterback next year. They got because a lot of people, including me, had them in the NFC Championship game. And I'm not gonna overreact to one game, but a lot of teams they take notes and they go like, all right, if you could rush, if you could blitz, if you can blitz, because not every team can blitz, but if you could blitz the Vikings offensive line, which is a little shaky, they're young. I think Darisaw is still a second-year player. They drafted somebody, so like they're still young. Kirk Cousins is not mobile, so he cannot be like, oh, weave, and like on some Kyle Murray, Russell Wilson, Lamar shit. No, he can't. So Justin Jefferson, this literally proved that you need other players besides Justin Jefferson. He's one of my favorite receivers, but like he's clamped up. Adam Thielen was cooking. They didn't give him the ball enough. The KJ Osborne, he dropped a pass. Would have been a first down. He dropped a pass.
Irv Smith, wide open. Like
Butterfingers.
We give Kirk Cousins a lot of shit. He had thrown like Chef's money ball on Madden. That's a tutty. Boom, boom, boom. Drops it.
So like it's hard. I get it, but when you throw 3 picks, it's kind of demoralizing. When your defense tries its best, but their run defense is horrendous. So we're gonna talk about it tomorrow against the Lions, but they have one of the best running attacks in the league. I don't know. But like, yo, it's bad. Cause Jalen Hurts was running roughshod. Miles Sanders had a good game. He didn't have like 100 yards, but he had a decent game. Like you saw, if you watched, like this is one of the things that if you watched the game, you knew that the Eagles were in control for basically the entire time. So Miles Sanders had 10-yard rush, then he had like a 2-yard rush, and he had another 10-yard rush, another 2. It was very inconsistent for him. Boston Scott got involved. Gainwell caught a nice pass. Like And then what I liked about the Eagles was that they brought in Devontae Smith because Devontae Smith, he had nothing week 1. He had like 5 to 7 catches, a good like 60 yards. So like he was cooking. AJ Brown, they had a balance between them two. He wasn't just throwing to AJ Brown. He was throwing to both him and Devontae. So and Goddard got involved as well.
Early. He got involved early.
So like if they can, that could be the blueprint because they run the ball well. So they're not gonna stack the box. They're not gonna double AJ Brown because now they see that okay, bet Devontae Smith's involved. So like if they that's literally the blueprint. That's literally the blueprint. Fletcher Cox got a sack. He was like cool. Darius Slay was nice. So they can set the blueprint and possibly Eagles win the division, get to a playoffs, get to a divisional round, maybe a championship game. Shit, I saw a TikTok. It was like no one wants to see the Bills Eagles Super Bowl, and that would be the most toxic thing ever because Bills fans are crazy. Eagles fans are toxic as fuck.
America would not be safe.
America would not be safe, no matter who won.
Last thing before we close out, Jalen Hurts, man. Jalen Hurts, like you could tell, put in the work. Like it's kind of one of those things like, oh, he's definitely super strong, bro. He has squat 600 pounds, bro. That is not even bro. 600 pounds. He did it 500 pounds in high school, 600 pounds in college. He's keeping working it, but he's not just a workout warrior. He's working out his mechanics. He's getting better as a thrower of the ball. And one play that I saw, I don't know, I don't remember what play or what quarter. It was probably the first half because after the second half, it kind of like
that launch to
it was he rolled out,
Watkins?
huh?
That the roll
To Quez Watkins, yes. So rolls out, looking, and he didn't take off. He's looking. He's did a Russell Wilson, where he's like, I could run this, but let me, because I know the defense is gonna try to like pause, suck in. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna look downfield. Someone's gonna be open, and he's been working on his mechanics. He's working on that throw, and you could tell that when he released, he's like, yeah, this is money, and bang, and got it. And I'm like, yes.
hit him with this.
Like, it's like I'm him. Him and Neutron. So Jalen Hurts, man, MVP, sneaky.
Possibly.
After week 2, man, he's been doing his shit so far. But it's only week 2, on to week 3.
Yeah, man. Week 3 is in the horizon. Thursday night, Steelers and Browns. It's gonna be a good matchup. But I feel like it's gonna be good. We're gonna talk about it tomorrow. Until then, I'm Shabazz. That's Natty Bats. Thank you for joining in to the week 2 review with recap analysis. It's kind of longer than usual, but both our teams lost, so we really had to vent real quick. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for week 3 prediction, odds, spreads, and all the jazz in between, man. But until then, have a good night, y'all. Peace.
It's funny, I know about it. Certain to somebody, sometime.